May 11, 2015, and the NFL has suspended Tom Brady 4 games for ball tampering or his involvement or knowledge thereof, according to the Wells report. So they suspended Tom Brady 4 games. They've also given the Patriots a $1 million fine, and they've also taken away their first-round pick in 2016 and their fourth-round pick in 2017. So that is the punishment that has been brought down on the Patriots from the NFL and on Tom Brady. And this is not at all fair. It is ridiculous. It is insane. The rule says that if you did tamper with the ball, which there has not been really significant evidence to prove that they did, but if they were guilty of ball tampering, what is the specified punishment as written in the rule book by the NFL? Well, the specified punishment is a $25,000 fine. It's actually a pretty minor infraction in terms of the overall, penalties for, different things that you could do that are not allowed within the rules of the game. So it's a $25,000 fine. How then do they give them a $1 million fine, which is 40 times the amount of the stated fine in the rule book? For what reason do they get a penalty that's 40 times more than what it is stated as such in the rules? Not only that, then to suspend Brady 4 games and to take away 2 draft picks, it is absurd. And the way that they justify it is they have this phantom rule that's called, unfair practices, that if you engage in unfair acts, then the league can just do whatever. It's basically a rule that makes it to where at any point, at any time, the NFL, it's basically just throw the rule book out the window, because this rule is kind of like the Patriot Act of the NFL, where it makes it where the NFL can just do whatever they want and put down any punishment they want, and all they have to do is just say, oh, well, it was an unfair act. And since it's an unfair act, we have an open-ended punishment that we can levy. Whereas, well, then why do they have it in there that it's a $25,000 fine for ball tampering? Why don't they then just say, oh, it's open-ended, we'll do whatever we want? Why don't they say that it's $1 million fine? Why then, why don't they follow their own rules? If you write rules, if you put out in the rules, this is the rules, this is the punishment, you can't then turn around and then be like, well, it's the Patriots, everybody hates the Patriots, we got a lot of haters out there who are all jealous that the Patriots' success, so let's freaking be harder on them. Whereas other teams that tamper with the balls don't even get punished, or they get a $25,000 fine. We've even seen other teams breaking rules like pumping in extra crowd noise into the speakers, which is an unfair act and is against, competition rules. It's against the NFL rules. Did they have this come down on them? Did they have all this media scrutiny? No, the Falcons did that, but no one's even talking about it. It just was swept under the rug. Just a little fine, and okay, go on your way. But the Patriots, though, oh, that's a different story. They're the Super Bowl champs. They're big headlines. Everybody loves to hate on them. So now we can just go ahead and freaking give them a huge freaking bogus fine and suspend Brady 4 games and take away 2 draft picks, totally unjustifiably so. Not only that, if you look at the science in the Wells report, it even states that there is no conclusive evidence, that the scientific evidence is not conclusive. 75% of the balls tested that were the Colts were also under regulation. So why aren't the Colts fined $1 million? Why isn't Andrew Luck suspended for 4 games? Why aren't the Colts subtracted first-round draft picks on the 4th-round draft pick? Why not? 6 of the 8 balls tested by the league of the Indianapolis Colts from that game came in under regulation. And that was 3 balls at halftime and another 3 balls at the end of the game. So even after they gave them the regulation balls at halftime and then they measured the balls after the game, they still came back under for both teams. Why? Because of the weather conditions. Also, when you're playing a hard physical game like football, ball pressure will be lost in the ball. Not only that, when they measured the balls, there's 2 guys who measured the balls, and each individual came out with a different measurement for each ball. So whether they were measuring the Patriots balls or the Colts balls, they never got the same reading because it is not an exact science. And both balls, the Patriots balls lost 1 pound of pressure throughout the course of the game. The Colts balls lost a half a pound of pressure throughout the course of the game. This was on average. The Patriots balls started at the lower threshold at 12.5, which was in the legal limit. The Colts balls were higher. They had them more inflated, but within the regulation. It's 12.5 to 13.5. They were both regulation before the game, and then at halftime, they both came in under. Because if you're at 12.5, well, then as you toss the ball around, it's going to come in under. Not only that, when they tested them out at 12.5, if they had had another person test them at that same very moment, and they would have tested it right after the ref tested it, it would have been 12.3. At least. Maybe even 12.1 right then. And then, so what's, because it's not an exact thing. Even with them investigating the balls, they never once came out with the same measurements. Not only that, as I said, the Colts balls also came in under. Also, Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers has stated he likes his balls at 16. So he admits to overinflating the balls. Hello, some guys overinflate them, some underinflate them. That's just how it is. And it doesn't really give you an advantage, as we saw in the AFC Championship game, because the Patriots actually did better in the second half with the balls that were brought in that were 100% without a shadow of a doubt regulation. So if they did better with balls with more air pressure, why would they take the pressure out? Brady did better in the second half than he did in the first half. It don't make any sense. It's bogus. The science is not at all conclusive. It's not any kind of evidence. The only way is that they have the lowest possible threshold, and that it's basically that as long as it's 51.1%, then okay, you're guilty. But 49.9% chance that you're innocent doesn't even matter. That's bogus. It's not fair. But basically, it comes down to because the NFL wants to have the power, the control to where they don't have to have a high threshold to be able to punch people, to where they can just be like, we feel like punching you. Oh, and we also have this rule where, we feel like just whatever, we want to punish you, we will. So they just basically have it set up where everything is in favor of the NFL, to where they can just do whatever they want, and then the Patriots are just subjugated to that. And the rules don't even matter. Why even have rules then? Why do they even have rules? And how do they even break the rules if the league is breaking the rules in the way they're punishing them? So how is that just? 2 wrongs don't make a right. And there ain't even really enough sufficient evidence to prove that there was a first wrong in the first place. Even though I will admit, more likely than not, McNally did deflate the balls from what it looks like, but there is no evidence to connect Tom Brady to that. None whatsoever. And as I said, the Colts, their balls were under also. Why isn't the Colts being fined? Why isn't Andrew Luck suspended? Why aren't they being deducted draft picks? It is bogus. It is unfair. That's my thought about it. That's my opinion. I'm interested in your opinions and your thoughts about this. Let me know what you think. Do you think, as I do, that this is totally bogus, totally unfair? Or do you disagree with me? Do you think that it is fair? Or do you think maybe they should have had more of a fine or suspension? Either way, let me know in the comment section below, because I am interested and I am open to your thoughts and opinions. I respect your opinion, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, just let me know. Let's have a discussion. Definitely interested to read what you think out there. Thank you very much for listening. I do greatly appreciate it, and I hope you're having a good day, and you had a good weekend, and have a good week, and enjoy all the sports.